Okay, everybody, I have a confession. These are not my real glasses.
I mean, they were my real glasses, but they are not anymore because I broke them. These are my real glasses.
Wow, I can see. But I don't have to worry about glare with these lensless ones. So I think these will just be my YouTube glasses. I'm just gonna communicate to you all that I wear glasses, but these are my real lifesies ones.
Hey, look at that. 6 eyes.
Hello, we are back. Hey everybody, so I know it's been some time. I'm out of Turing now. I'm employed. I have all these things on my plate, but somehow less than before, and I wanted to make some videos to kind of catch everybody up, talk about the experiences I've had at Turing that I have not discussed on this channel thus far. Today I need to go to campus to pick up my bike. So I'm gonna do that and maybe take y'all with me and do some talking on the go. I'll just preface this by saying there's just so much that goes into the job search, and there's so much that goes into Mod 3 and Mod 4. And I didn't have a working microphone for a lot of that time, and I had some issues with my camera itself. I needed to format my card and like learn what I was doing wrong about filming, and I think I have that all under control now. I have an awesome microphone to go along with my awesome camera. So now I feel like I have my shit together, at least a little bit, and I have things to focus on to get ready for work. I'll talk about that role, maybe I'll make another video about that, but today I think I'll just do a vlog. I might talk a little bit about what life has been like after Turing, job stuff aside. My God, who am I outside of school? These are my cohort shirts, which I love. Go 1803. But I want to stop procrastinating and go get my bike, so let's talk. So I think the hardest part of finishing Turing was the couple of weeks immediately following graduation. I think I was fortunate in having company come visit me right after I graduated, and they were there at my graduation. They were so supportive, and we got to have some fun. A big theme at Turing is people advising you not to take a big vacation right after you graduate, though, and I completely understand why. It was hard to enjoy it. It was really stressful thinking, oh, I finally finished this big thing. Do I know any of the things that I say that I know? Am I gonna get a job? And then having to jump right back into that after having fun for a few days was a little stressful as well. I think the hard part about finishing Turing is going from this really intense structured environment with lots of deadlines and goals and feedback to kind of just doing whatever you want. At that point, it's up to you. The cool thing is they encourage you to make a 30-day plan and really schedule in your coding so that you keep your GitHub log green, so that your tech skills are still growing and developing. A big part of it is also networking in the job hunt. That's a full-time job in and of itself. So the way that I've approached that is I stuck to my 30-day plan. And when I needed to change something, or I just couldn't do it that day, I didn't have the bandwidth, I would change it on my calendar so that I had a running log of what I was able to do and what I wasn't able to do. And that's what helped me. Mod 5, as we often call it, can only be described, in my opinion, as an emotional roller coaster, and a roller coaster of every kind. There were days where I felt like I was gonna get an offer at any minute and that I could knock out any challenge that headed my way, like literally take home assignments or more abstract challenges. But most days I felt kind of crappy. Like most days I thought it was a mistake that I graduated, that I should have repeated a mod, or I should have been required to do extra work in order to pass, or that my classmates were really far ahead of me and that nobody liked working with me. Like there were a lot of those days. And I think the thing that kept me going was that I just didn't have any other option. It's really a gorgeous day out today. I'm in a t-shirt, and just the other day I was freezing my ass off in a coat. Colorado's interesting like that, but I'm all about the changing leaves and the snow. After, oh Jesus, I don't even know how many years I lived in Texas, but after all that, I am happy for the seasons. Some of my strategies during the job hunt and following Turing were just to reach out early and often. This meant I was reaching out to my career coaches. I remember one really bad week where I reached out to somebody and said, I don't think I'm a good developer. Nobody wants to hire me. I'm making Turing look bad. And she said, no, this is normal, like chill, it's been 2 weeks, you're okay. And staying connected to my classmates and to other people at the school, going in and tutoring, helping people with projects was one of the best things I think I could have done. And it gave me the confidence to go into certain interviews and say, yeah, I know how this thing works. I don't know all the nuance of it. I don't know how it works under the hood, but I know how to use this technology to accomplish a simple task. And I can communicate about how I do it and how I solve the problem. So that was nice. And then like doing things like just growing out my hair a little bit, making sure I keep it trimmed, cleaning my apartment. That stuff goes a long way when it comes to just feeling productive in general. They talk, some of my career coaches have talked about kind of just pacing yourself so that, you know, your end goal is to get a job, but every day that you don't get a job can feel kind of detrimental. And if you're accomplishing small tasks in between, if you're coding every day, and if you're making a blog post, and if you have those little chunks of accomplishable goals, you gain momentum. And when you gain momentum, you gain confidence. So that's something I just want to keep up regardless of whether or not I'm job hunting. I want to stay active in my learning and keep progressing, even if I'm at a certain place in my work life in that progression, and then at another place in like my personal study. I never really want to stop learning. And maybe I'll kind of back off on coding in my personal time for a while, just for mental health and sustainability reasons, to prevent burnout. But I'm looking forward to getting back into other things that support my learning, like music. And I might take, I don't know, a boxing class or something. We'll see. Oh, thank God it's still here. To be honest, I was a little worried. You know, not the most awesome setup for my bike, but I'm only living in this tiny apartment for a couple more months. Right, kitty cat? It's so wild to me that I finished Turing and I finished the job hunt. And I don't know if that feels the way that I thought it would, but it's still a nice feeling. Yeah, since this is real life, my apartment is not like as clean as it could be, I guess, but it's better than it was. And I'm starving, so I'm going to make some food while I talk to y'all. Life after Turing, huh? It's kind of wild. I really was craving some Cafe Miriam or some Stack Sandwiches, which is the restaurant that's in the building of my school. But what tastes even better is saving money after a 6-month long education experience. So I have been doing a lot of that stuff since Turing. I've been trying to save money. It was kind of tough, being productive at first, because I wasn't really on campus where I feel most productive as often. There were a lot of, students, but I would still go to campus, and I would try to take lunch whenever I could. I would try to work from home, and I had some mixed success with that. I really wish that I had maybe found an apartment further away from campus that was a 1-bedroom, because that would have allowed me to have a home office space that my cats would not have been able to interfere with. Other than that, I really don't mind living in a studio. I feel like I could even fit in my instruments here if I had the ability to have storage on the walls and stuff. But that's just not my situation. And the cats do interfere with my work. Cats want to be like they're humans, and they mirror. They sit on computers and laps, and they just want to be involved at all times. And sometimes it's just, on job interview, phone screens and stuff like that. It's I appreciate the support, kitty cat, but I can't have you in this interview. It's really important to pace yourself after graduating, I think, because there's so much work to do, and it is a full-time job. And at the same time, it's not Turing. I think my favorite thing about life after Turing is that now I sit down and I work on something, And instead of getting burnt out before I finish, sometimes I even finish my task and have leftover energy and have a chance to iterate back over what I was working on and improve it, or go out and learn something new. And I actually have that drive. I understand what people mean now when they say you have to force yourself to put down the computer and go do some self-care or whatever the case may be. I never understood that. I felt super lazy because I didn't want to keep coding. I wanted to go home and cuddle my cats. And now when I work on something for a few hours, I feel like I know enough things and I've had enough practice to get into that flow state. And I thought that day would never come. Even though I was really interested in technical problems, I thought it would be like trudging through mud and trying to force my last 2 brain cells to cooperate. And that's just not how it's been. It's kind of like when you go to the gym, and if you're into fitness at all, and you go to the gym and you get into that endorphin rush while you're working out instead of forcing yourself to work out. After a while, it becomes second nature, and you're really able to reap the benefits in the moment and enjoy what you're doing. And I feel like I've gotten to that spot technically, which is probably my favorite thing so far. Another thing I've had more of an opportunity to do since graduating is attend meetups and even host a meetup. The meetup that I hosted, I'm doing a few more of them, and it occurred to me that maybe we didn't get a super great turnout because the time that I chose overlapped really badly with rush hour. And I think that traffic was just kind of gross. So we're going to do some more experimenting with that. And the cool thing about the meetup that I'm hosting is that instead of having beer on tap, it is at a social lounge where people can consume certain forms of cannabis. And they're licensed and legal and all that good stuff. So that's a nice feeling, because I feel like I'm tempted to drink at a lot of these events. And I'm not like a teetotaler. I will drink beer, it's fine. But I wish that there was an alternative sometimes, and to be able to facilitate that even for just a few people on a small scale is really nice. Oh my gosh, y'all, these are like the worst quesadillas in existence, but they're gonna taste so good because I'm starving. So yeah, in a nutshell, that's just kind of what post-Turing life has been like. Cheers. Thank you for clicking on this video and catching up with me, even though it's been a long time since I posted. And I think the next time I will see you all will be the next Mythical Creatures Monday, so tune in then.
Say goodbye. Goodbye.